Hello and welcome to my video on my integrated unit plan for Grade 1 Science and Technology. This plan covers Strand D of the Ontario Science Curriculum, Structures and Mechanisms, which in Grade 1 consists of everyday materials, objects, and structures. This unit is designed using an interdisciplinary integrated curriculum model, connecting science, language, social studies, and the arts. By integrating multiple subject areas, I was able to design learning experiences that are connected and engaging, rather than teaching subjects in isolation. This approach allows students to explore concepts through discussion, hands-on building, visual representation, and reflection, supporting a variety of learners while keeping learning purposeful. I chose an interdisciplinary approach because it allows me to maximize instructional time while still addressing multiple curriculum expectations. Rather than separating subjects, students engage in shared learning experiences that build critical thinking, collaboration, and problem-solving skills. This model also supports diverse learners by providing multiple entry points such as discussion, hands-on activities, and creative expression. This unit is guided by the central big idea of overconsumption. I chose to center the unit around overconsumption because it is a real-world environmental issue that students can begin to understand and take action on even at a young age. Key inquiry questions include where materials come from, what happens when we are finished with them, how our choices impact the environment, and how we can reduce waste in our classroom and community. These questions help frame student thinking across the entire unit and encourage them to make connections between their learning and their everyday lives. This unit is grounded in an STSE framework, which connects science learning to the relationships between science, technology, society, and the environment. I chose this framework because it aligns directly with my focus on overconsumption and environmental responsibility. Through this approach, students are not only learning about materials and structures, but also considering how human actions impact the environment. A key goal of this unit is to help students begin to see themselves as responsible decision makers within their community. The STSE framework supports this by encouraging students to think about personal actions they can take, which is reflected in the ongoing class plan to reduce waste. My unit is rooted in the Grade 1 Science and Technology curriculum, specifically Strand D, Structures and Mechanisms. It includes both applying and knowing expectations to support a balanced understanding of concepts. For example, a key applying expectation is D1.1, where students identify types of waste and plan actions to reduce it, which directly connects to the environmental focus of the unit. A key knowing expectation is D2.3, where students identify materials used to make everyday objects. Environmentally oriented expectations, such as identifying natural resources of materials, are used throughout the unit. In addition to science, I integrated social studies, the arts, and language because they naturally supported the flow of my unit and allowed students to explore these ideas more deeply. The unit is sequenced across 9 lessons to support gradual development of understanding. It begins with foundational knowledge about materials and natural resources, then moves into structures and design, followed by connections to community and land, and it ends with student action. Each lesson builds on the previous one, allowing students to continuously revisit and expand their understanding. The lessons are designed to be hands-on and inquiry-based, with opportunities for discussion, exploration, and reflection. A key feature of my planning is the ongoing class waste reduction plan, which is introduced early and revisited throughout the unit to create continuity and purpose. In the first part of the unit, students build foundational knowledge about materials and their environmental impact. In Lesson 1, students explore everyday objects like paper and metal and discuss whether they come from nature, introducing the concept of natural resources and the importance of reuse. In Lesson 2, students examine how products like paper and markers are made and what happens when they are thrown away, which leads to the introduction of the class waste reduction plan. In Lesson 3, students explore fasteners through hands-on investigation, using real materials like screws and bolts to understand how objects are constructed. These lessons focus on developing both conceptual understanding and awareness of how materials connect to environmental issues. The second half of the unit focuses on applying learning in context. In Lesson 4, students design and test structures that must withstand wind, helping them understand stability and material properties. In Lessons 5 and 6, they shift into social studies, where students create a map of their community and explore how land has changed over time through a read aloud, connecting human actions to environmental impact. In Lesson 7, students focus on recycling and begin collecting materials in preparation for their culminating task. In Lesson 8, students create a structure using recycled materials, applying both science and art concepts. Finally, in the 9th lesson, students finalize their class plan to reduce waste and commit to taking action, bringing the unit full circle. Differentiation is applied throughout this unit to support a range of learners. I use short, chunked instructions paired with visual support such as anchor charts, images, and modeled examples to reduce cognitive load. Hands-on opportunities are built into nearly every lesson, allowing students to actively engage with concepts. I also provide flexible ways for students to demonstrate their learning, including drawing, building, and oral explanations. For a student with ADHD, like my hypothetical student Kyle, I incorporate strategies that promote engagement, structure, and flexibility. This includes preferential seating, movement breaks, and opportunities for hands-on participation. Tasks are broken into smaller, manageable steps with check-ins to support completion. When needed, expectations can be modified by reducing workload or allowing alternative ways to demonstrate understanding, such as oral responses or drawing. Consistent routines are also used to provide predictability and support focus. Assessment in this unit follows a balanced approach of for, as, and of learning. Assessment for learning is ongoing and includes observations, questioning, and discussions to inform instruction. For example, in Lesson 1, student responses during discussion help identify prior knowledge about materials and environmental choices. Assessment as learning is supported through reflection and co-construction, particularly through the ongoing class waste reduction plan, where students contribute ideas and revisit them over time. Assessment of learning occurs through structured tasks, such as the wind-resistant building activity and the recycled building project, where students explain their design choices and demonstrate their understanding. Evaluation is based on triangulation of data, including observations, conversation, and products, and focuses on students' most consistent and recent evidence of learning. Overall, this unit reflects my approach to teaching as interdisciplinary, student-centered, and grounded in real-world relevance. My unit addresses curriculum expectations and encourages students to think critically, make connections, and take action. By the end of the unit, students understand materials and structures and recognize their role in reducing waste and protecting the environment within their community. Thank you for watching my video.